This video is everything you need to know about surviving Florida hurricanes. And stick around to the end and we will show you the best part about getting prepared for a hurricane when you're at Publix. So ladies, one more time, what do you think a hurricane is? Brooke.
Solid water that electrocutes water and then water shoots up into the cloud.
That seems incredibly scary. What do you think a hurricane is?
I think it's a lot of wind with water and it could twirl around, which is a tornado.
So it's like a tornado, it's like an electrical storm.
They call it a tornado because it's wind with water and they called it a tornado because it looked scary, and a tornado could be really scary.
I think it would be very scary. Did you
Tornadoes are scary.
So mommy told me that you guys were watching TikTok earlier today and you saw some videos about Hurricane Igoe.
A flooded house. So upstairs, they were going downstairs and there's water in the house.
It was flooding, yeah.
Flooding the whole entire inside of the house.
Do you know what that's called?
What?
It's called a storm surge. When there's a hurricane, there's typically a storm surge, and then if you're close to where that flooding is, or if you're close to the ocean, there could be a lot of flooding and a very significant storm surge. And you're right, it's very scary. So that's something you got to be prepared for. What do you think a hurricane is, or what did you see on TikTok about a hurricane?
Your live soil.
It seems like it would be really scary. Just talk about what you saw.
It would be scary.
It would be scary. So I took the
would be so
liberty,
scary.
ladies, I took the liberty of looking up what a hurricane is really defined as, and so I figured I would just read it to you. A hurricane is a type of storm called a tropical cyclone, so you were right, and it forms over tropical or subtropical waters.
Wait, what is this?
That's just a picture. So we're in Florida and we're surrounded by tropical waters. So we are in a place called Hurricane Alley. So every year we have hurricane season. Did you know that?
Yeah.
You did?
No, not me.
You didn't know that?
I didn't.
Well, we have hurricane season. And really what we have in Florida
What is
is
a
rainy season and
What
not
is a
rainy
hurricane?
season. A hurricane it's a high pressure storm. So I'm going to read this direct. Do you want to try to read it? Because you know how to read it. Yeah, hold on. You start here.
What am I?
A.
A tropical cyclone
Yeah, good job.
is a rotating low pressure weather system that has
Organized.
organized thunderstorms, but no.
Right.
Am I reading this whole thing?
No, you don't have to read the whole thing. But so that was great reading, by the way.
Wait, can I read the whole thing?
Sure.
A tropical.
I read that part.
I want to read it. The whole thing. A tropical. What does this say?
Sound it out. Cyclone. Good job. High five it, girl.
A tropical cyclone organized.
Yeah, good job.
I'm gonna read this big one.
This video is all about learning how to read. Great job.
I already know.
This video is all about how to survive the hurricane of teaching your kids how to read. Do not smack. Don't do that. I thought you were throwing it. All right, excellent work, ladies. Well, we're in hurricane season right now. And hurricane season lasts from June 1st to November 30th of every year. And each year there's typically on average about 12 storms that roll through, but 6 of them actually develop into hurricanes. And so I could imagine for somebody who's not used to it, like you two little ladies, have you ever been in a hurricane?
Yeah.
No, you haven't.
Or Miss Garcia lived there as a hurricane.
Have you ever personally experienced a hurricane
No.
in your lifetime? No, which is great because we don't really want to experience one if we don't have to, so you're lucky. But I've experienced some in my lifetime of 40 plus years living down here. And actually, our new friend who just moved down here and relocated down to Florida, he's never experienced one either. So as we've been getting these hurricane alerts and these tropical storm warnings, he's had lots of questions. So I invited him to come on our trip with us when we go to Publix to actually go out there and buy our preparedness items. So we've got a plan, we've got our supplies, and we're ready just in case. Because the thing with hurricane preparedness is you got to be prepared well in advance. Otherwise, it can get really stressful as the storm actually comes and you get closer to it hitting, which in most cases they don't. They really advertise these things in the cone of death, and there's a lot of fear there to drive the local economy. But you got to be prepared, you got to have a plan. And today we're going to go to Publix and we're going to put together our hurricane preparedness supply list. We're going to buy everything, and that way we're ready. And we're going to have Matt come with us so he and his family are ready too. What's your question? Uh-oh, he must be at the door. Let's go get him. Boom, we're live. If you're new to the channel, my name is Chris Igoe. I'm a full-time, full-service realtor with an all-star team that services all of South Florida. And I make content to showcase exactly what it's like to live in South Florida, and I'll occasionally add my opinion or thoughts on really anything I think will help educate or inform to help empower you to make the best decisions for yourself, for your family, and for your financial bottom line. And before we get blown off the map here, please say hello. I'm friendly. Tell me where you're from, and let's start a conversation in the comment section down below. Tell me what you think. Where do you live now, and where are you thinking about living in South Florida? Is there any city or subject that you'd like me to cover? Let me know in the comments, and please subscribe to the channel, smash the thumbs up button, and hit that bell too so that you never miss out on a video. With the real estate market heating up and what feels like a mass exodus from really everywhere, now more than ever, I'm getting calls and texts from people up north and from all over the country looking to relocate and move down to South Florida, which we love. So if there's ever anything in the world that we can do to help you, please call, text, leave a comment down below, and we will be happy to help. And please claim your free South Florida city and relocation guide by clicking the free guide in the banner at the top of this channel, or in the links down below at the bottom of this video. And we will send you one right away. It will tell you everything that you want to know about every city in South Florida. And please claim your free Hurricane Essentials guide, which will be in the link below or at the top of this video, and you can learn about everything that's talked about in this video. All right, without any further ado, here we go. Hold on. Hey everybody, it's Matt. What's going on, bud?
What I'm doing.
You ready to go hurricane preparedness shopping?
I am ready. You guys
All
have
right.
a list?
Let's go. Let's go roll out to Publix, all right?
This is my scooter.
Keep walking.
Come guys. All right.
I got my scooter.
Let's go. Saddle up. Let's ride out. Let's get our hurricane preparedness.
Back of your seat.
Nice.
All right, ladies, we are off to Publix to get our hurricane preparedness items checked off our list, so that way we're ready if a storm comes. What do you think about that?
Good.
Good.
Yeah.
So, you want to hear a story about the first hurricane that I ever experienced?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I moved here when I was 5 from New Jersey, and you know, at 5 years old, you're not really thinking about hurricanes at all, and you have no concept of what that is. So when we moved here and we started hearing about hurricanes and tropical storms and all these different weather patterns, as a young kid, it was scary. So the first time we experienced any of that, like, everybody goes nuts. They get super protective, maybe even a little bit paranoid, but everybody went crazy. So the first hurricane, now this is before, you know, the construction of homes has changed as much as it has.
Yes.
We're talking about, like, this is like 1980, right? So in 1980, they did not have the same safety features. There were no impact windows. So the first hurricane threat that we had, we went to Home Depot. The lines are insane.
Wow.
We took plywood and put it on the windows, which was a massive undertaking. At different times, we took duct tape and like X'd out the windows. I think at the time we thought that would protect us if the glass got shattered. I don't think that's the best practice now. I think it just means that you have a bigger piece of glass to become to decapitate somebody with.
They don't do that tape on the windows anymore?
No, thankfully not anymore. But the lines are just as intense. And you know, as a young kid, I mean, it's really scary. And for anybody that's new to the area like you, of course, it's going to be very scary.
Yeah.
The media sensationalizes this to the nth degree to probably spur more local economy sales of, you know, everything.
Yeah.
But if I remember back, and I actually really have to think here for a minute, at the time we lived in Fort Lauderdale, we lived on a canal, we had a boat, and so one of the big fears is what impact is the wind going to have on the boat, and what impact is the rising tide going to have on the boat, on the house, on flooding, on all things like that. And now we live out west now, so we're more insulated from that storm surge. But when we lived in Fort Lauderdale, we were in that flood zone, we were in that storm surge, so it was more of a immediate threat, more of a pressing concern.
Got it.
So we had to batten down the hatches. I mean, we did all kinds of things. I just remember it being very intense.
Yeah.
Right. But it was also kind of fun because we went to Publix, which is where we're going right now. We got all kinds of non-perishable food items. We got, you know, lots of batteries, lots of portable radios. Back then, I don't even know if they had portable generators, or if they did, we didn't have one. They definitely, or at least not that I was aware of, they didn't have in-ground whole house generators like they have now. So the safety features that exist in a home and some of the items that you can purchase easily at Home Depot or at Publix, they just didn't exist then. So what inevitably ended up happening is we go buck wild. I mean, we are ready for this hurricane, and we've got everything. We've got the electricity goes out, we got tons of flashlights, we got tons of battery, we've got propane for the barbecue grill. Yep. We've we put all of our furniture, our outdoor patio furniture, we threw in the pool. I don't know where we got that idea from, but it may even be still a best practice. Now I think we bring it inside the house, but we threw it in the pool. So the house, the exterior of the house, everything has been brought inside. Anything that could be a flying weapon, everything's been brought inside. We've got the we've got the plywood on the doors or the windows, and we're ready for ready for all hell to break loose. And so we get ready, and now you're in the house. The house is dark, so you can barely see anything. You got the lights on, whatever, but we're just ready for World War III. And then nothing happened. So we did that for a few different seasons of hurricanes. So we get a hurricane threat, hurricane warning, whatever the elevation is, and we take it super seriously. By like the fourth or fifth time of taking it super seriously, you start to get a little bit immune to
desensitized to the
yeah, you get desensitized, and obviously you got to be prudent, you got to be prepared, but you don't necessarily need to go buck wild the same way that we did back then. The good news is today, with the way homes are built, they're a heck of a lot safer. So I don't really have any fear in the home that we live now. One, we're a little bit far removed from the storm, or from the shoreline. So by the time the storm actually does move in, it's going to be reduced in its capacity, but also the homes are built much differently.
Got it.
So everything is built to Miami code. So everything is basically wind resistant or storm proof, if you will. The biggest thing I've seen during a hurricane is that the roof tiles will get thrown off.
Got it.
And those are easy replacements, or easily replaceable and not very expensive. But what can happen is those things become essentially bullets, right?
Projectiles,
So if your vehicle is still in the driveway and not in the garage, the odds of something blowing into it are high, and you could have damaged windshield and damage to your car and stuff like that. So yeah, those were my first early recollections of a hurricane. But Hurricane Andrew hit when I was in high school, and I want to say it was 92. I was a sophomore, and it blew through and hit Homestead, like direct impact. Homestead, a lot of the the people who lived there lived in mobile homes. So there were lots of mobile home communities in Homestead, and they were all devastated. So, I mean, it just wreaked havoc.
Look at the rain that hit.
Yeah, there's rain right now. But a lot of kids were displaced. A lot of them ended up coming to our school, and it didn't hit us directly. We were all prepared for it, but a week later, you've got new kids in our school that were relocated because their homes were destroyed. It was really sad and scary for them. But yeah, you got an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. I don't think that fits for a hurricane because you can't really cure a hurricane, but you can certainly be prepared. So that's what we're going to do right now. And ladies, will you join me and Matt as we pick out our hurricane preparedness items?
Yes.
I'm excited.
Me too.
Daddy, did we have a hurricane or a tornado? Because remember when you had to take down the trampoline?
I took down the trampoline because we were under an advisory, and I wanted to be safe. A hurricane advisory or hurricane warning, I think. But I put it away so we could be precautious. Because, like I said, be prepared. All right, let's go.
Let's do it.
All right, let's go. We got our emergency list. Sure. All right, so the first thing that we got to make sure we get is a plan, right? So do we have one? So if we're going to be getting a hurricane, we want to make sure that we've got lots of non-perishable foods and lots of water. And generally it's recommended that you have at least 72 hours worth of supplies, because if power gets cut off, you're going to need something to drink, you're going to need something that's not going to rot, right? And typically, unless we get a direct hit and we're really knocked out, which has only happened once in my 40 years where I've experienced that while living down here, they're going to restore power pretty quickly, right? But in the event they don't, you want to have a generator, or you want to...
Do we have a generator?
We do have a generator, yeah. So the first thing that we're going to want to need, what we're going to want to get is water, right? So we would get some, let's see, this is a big coffin thing of this, right?
Oh, wow.
Now, we've got 4 people in our family, right? So we would need way more than this. I'm not going to stock this whole thing up right now, but you get the idea. You need lots of water, a gallon per person per day. I don't know if that's what's recommended. That's what I would normally do, but you want to be fully stocked and fully hydrated, period. So we got lots of water. Now, in addition to that, look, you can make this fun. So this is going to turn into a hurricane party, right? So get whatever you want. If you like soda, get lots of soda, get lots of Gatorade. If you really want to spice things up, get some beer, get some liquor, get whatever it is that you want, and turn this thing into a party. Because what usually happens is we don't get the storm. Schools get canceled to be prepared. You get sent home from work to be prepared, and everybody on the block ends up having a hurricane party. So supply yourself accordingly and have some fun. All right, let's go. So we got water, right? All right, what's the next thing on the list? So let's sound it out. So you're probably going to need big garbage bags. You're probably going to need some of these items, paper plates, whatever. You obviously don't want to be doing dishes during a hurricane if you're getting one. But lots of paper towels, lots of toilet paper. And if you guys remember at the beginning of the pandemic when there was none of those items, that's exactly what it's going to feel like during hurricane season. So if when it's time to roll, if you don't have this stuff in advance, you're not going to be happy. All right, so also, it's probably a good idea to have some candles around the house, especially if you're trying to set the mood for this hurricane party, or not exactly. But if power goes out, you're going to need a power supply, or not a power supply. You're going to need lights, right? So candles are a good. But also go on Amazon now, get your flashlights, get your batteries. You can get them at Publix like we're at right now, but you can get them anywhere. You want to have them well in advance of the store, right? So make sure you've got plenty of those kind of items. Otherwise, you could be left in the dark, and that will not be fun. So given you've got all this water, you may want to get some powdered drink mixes too to spice things up a bit. So get whatever you like, right? Obviously, we're having a hurricane. This is probably more about fun than anything else. But let's get some dry goods that are fun, and then let's also get some dry goods that are important, right? Goodies. All right. What kind of goodies do you like? Sun chips? Very good.
I don't know.
You don't like sun chips? All right. Well, you'll learn to.
Yeah.
All right. So we got all that kind of stuff. All right. So here's where you're going to want to get canned goods. So again, you want to have 72 hours worth of food to sustain you in the event that we lose power or anything like that. So whatever you like, non-perishable items. So girls, you like black beans, right? So we would get some black beans, and again, I'm just using this as an example. But literally anything that's going to last is what you want to get. So here's where you get your tuna. Here's where you get your you could get chicken. Which kind of tuna do you like, girls? You don't like tuna? Okay, well I do. So I'm gonna get. Again, we've got a family of 4, so one of these isn't really going to cut it, but you know your family, you know what they eat. And again, if this is an emergency situation, you want to be prepared, so get as many as needed, but this is a good example. All right, keep going. All right, now ladies, since we're having a hurricane, a fake hurricane party, what would you want?
Paw Patrol.
Paw Patrols. All right, so you get some fun stuff for the kids, right? So, some fruit gummy roll.
Paw Patrol gummies.
What do you see?
Paw
It's
Patrol.
called
Paw Patrol. This?
Yes.
All right, so here we go. This will always protect you if there's a hurricane.
Wait, what is that?
That's not
Fruit
what it is.
roll-up.
All right, here we go. Uh-oh. And again, this is where you're going to get your applesauce. You're going to get, because this stuff is always going to last, right? So you stock up on applesauce, you stock up on juice, whatever you
Love
need.
strawberry apple.
All right, so you also want to make sure you've got all your prescriptions, whatever medical needs that you have. You want to make sure that you've got all those supplies, right? So it's very important that you've got a supply of prescription medicine or any type of things you need for your health. So make sure you're stocked up on that. And if you're a Publix, you go to your pharmacy. And you make sure you got everything. We don't have any real medical conditions, so fortunately, we don't have to stock up. Ooh, but what you do need to have is peanut butter and jelly. Very, very important. So you want to stock up. Again, we're a family of 4, so we can really put a dent on some peanut butter and jelly. What kind of peanut butter do you should get? Crunchy or smooth?
Smooth.
Smooth? Oh, I like crunchy, so let's get them both. All right. We're going to want these. Ooh, and they got super crunchy, which everyone knows is what you want to have in a hurricane. Oh, sorry.
Can I see the super crunchy?
Yeah. Super crunchy. Super crunchy and smooth. Peanut butter. We got some smooth peanut butter. I like this Dave's bread with the sprouted whole grain, so let's get that.
Is this sauce? Is this sauce?
That is sauce, yeah. But again, you're just gonna load up based on your needs, right? But at least 72 hours worth of food and supplies. Whoa. And the best practice is not to run the carts into the actual aisle. Ah! No, I'm not gonna grab it. So usually we'll get a bunch of eggs, we'll hard boil them, and we'll have them in a cooler. So it makes a lot of sense if you, for hurricane preparedness, you want to have a big cooler that you stock up and ice down so that you can keep some longevity to whatever things that you're buying are. And remember, most of the time, of course, you're going to need Oreos. That's very important. But again, most of the time, we're not actually going to lose power. We're not actually going to get the storm. So a lot of this stuff is going to end up being fun food, but you want to ensure you're prepared in the event disaster happens. Yeah, we're not. Now, as you can see, I no longer have any babies. These are big girls, but if you do have babies, you want to stock up on baby supplies, right? So you're going to get whatever formula you need, whatever diapers, whatever baby wipes you need. Make sure you're stocked up. The last thing you want to do is be ill-prepared for a stinky diaper for 72 hours or more. So very important to get all that stuff and you're prepared in advance. And what normally happens is in the beginning of hurricane season, you stock up with all these things and then you just use them systematically because you forget they're in reserve. Don't do that. Make sure you've got an adequate supply. No diapers, please. But pretty soon I'll be able to wear diapers. Can't wait. All right, so if your family is anything like mine, you probably have some furry friends that are part of your family. Fur babies, if you will, and you want to make sure they've got plenty of food and plenty of supplies too. So whatever that looks like for you, make sure that you've got them, because the last thing you want is to be ill prepared for a dog or cat. So if you've got a cat, make sure you've got that. You don't crash. We did crash, right? The hurricane's blowing us. But make sure you got plenty of dog food, plenty of cat food, plenty of cat litter. It stinks in here. You sure that's the aisle or is it your upper lip? That's a funny mean joke. Stinks a little? Okay. All right. And then I know I already mentioned this, but make sure you've got plenty of batteries. Good. That's great. So plenty of batteries, plenty of flashlights. Just make sure you're prepared. You can do that at Publix. You can do that, really anywhere. But very important to have. Well, we're getting some of the essentials today to be prepared for Florida hurricanes. But here's a fun fact. My first job was at Publix, and I kind of rigged the system a little bit. So I'm pretty sure you had to be 14 in order to apply for a job. This was back before everything was digital, so I kind of flubbed my age a little bit and got hired at 13. At a brand new store that just opened up in Coral Springs. So my first job was as a bag boy, and to this day I refuse to let anybody bag my groceries because I do it better and faster than everybody. And that's a consistent theme throughout my life. But no, seriously, you can't outbag me. So challenge, I'm throwing it down to all the Publix bag boys out there. Let's go. All right, so we got most of the essentials, right? Ladies, do we have most of the essentials on the list? We got the coffee, we got the tea, we got our first aid supplies, we got flashlights, we got batteries, we got candles, we got waterproof benches. What else? We got the pet stuff, right? We got the leash, the collar, the cat litter, the pet carrier. We got our prescription medicine, we got water, we got non-perishable food. But let's get to the best part about Publix. Ladies, put the camera over here. What's your favorite part about Publix? Getting gummies? All right. What's your favorite part about shopping at Publix?
Getting everything.
Getting subs?
Getting everything.
That is my favorite thing about going to Publix is Publix subs. So right now, I'm going to turn you on to a very special thing. If you've never tried a chicken tender sub from Publix, then you have really never lived. So join me. We're going to get one now. And make sure you get some hot sauce because that kicks it up a notch. Hello. Please have 2 whole chicken tender subs. I want to get a chicken tender too. Chicken tender sub? Think mommy wants that too?
How are you? What bad?
Ladies, come on. While we were in the store, it rained. It looks like it rained like crazy. That's some.
Look at that. We missed the hurricane.
Yeah, we missed the hurricane.
Good for us.
How do you like that humidity? That is a tropical weather scenario. Because we live in a tropical paradise, right? All right, ladies. How are the subs? So good? You
And
know?
there's 30 more days of hurricane season.
Oh, yeah? Well, I hope the subs are as good as they look. And thank you both for helping me. I really appreciate your help. I hope you enjoyed my everything you need to know about Florida hurricanes video. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up and smash the bell. Let me know if you've got any questions or concerns about hurricanes or really anything, because we're always happy to help. We love living in Florida and suspect you will too. But the truth is, demand is so high and inventory is so low that if you want to live here, you must contact me now. Homes go very fast. There is no time to waste. As a local expert, I typically know what's coming on the market before it even hits the MLS. And once it does, it's typically way too late to get involved. Over the last few years, we've helped hundreds of people buy and sell homes right here in South Florida, and we absolutely love it. As 40-year Florida residents, we know all the best places to fit your desired lifestyle and budget. So if you're even thinking about moving to anywhere in Florida, you've got to reach out to me. Call, text, DM, send a carrier pigeon, a smoke signal, by any means necessary, because we've got your back when it comes to moving to or in Florida. And until next time, peace.